All right, everybody, welcome to High Boost Car Reviews. Today we have an extremely special review just because I've never done a truck before. This is my first review of a large truck. We have the 2018 Ford F-150 Raptor. Huge thanks to my friend Alex for letting me review his car, letting me drive it, and then we're gonna basically go over what it's like to drive the Raptor. There's been so much media and videos on the internet about reviews and all this, but I've always been curious what it's like to drive a almost 500 horsepower truck. So today we're gonna go over some facts. We're gonna go for a drive. So first, some basic facts. We have in the engine, we have the high output 3.5 liter intercooled twin turbo EcoBoost V6. Now this is the same one that's obviously on the Ford GT that makes around 600 horsepower. This engine, there's a lot of confusion because people are used to V8s in trucks and V8s in sports cars, but Ford really surprised everybody when they came out with this engine, and it's really proven to be an excellent engine, more efficient, more power than the V8 counterpart. So we have 450 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque here in the Raptor. It's all-wheel drive. We have the twin turbos, so it's forced induction. And then to go over the valve setup quickly, it's a dual overhead camshaft V6, so it's 24 valves in total, 4 valves per cylinder. Today we're going to be testing out the 10-speed automatic. Now this transmission was actually a joint project between Chevy and Ford. They have it in the Camaro ZL1. They have it in the new 2018 Ford Mustang GT. Fuel economy in this truck, you're going to get around 15 in the city, 18 on a highway. Alex is averaging, it looks like 16, right? And so I have actually a question for Alex before we head off. What's your favorite part of this car? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but what's your favorite part of all? There's a million features in this truck, right? We've just seen the video. A million features, but what's your favorite feature in the truck that you just go back to each time?
There's nothing better than being able to sit at a red light with a Camaro next to you and beat him off the green light. Yeah, you can beat almost any car, any little car off the line in this truck.
It weighs
6,500 pounds.
6,500 pounds. I mean, that's honestly unbelievable. And to think
it's a 3-ton missile.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, just the small accelerations we've done in the parking lot, it's a fast car, and this is my first time driving it, and it's very wide. So I'm going to try to get used to it.
You're going to see some smiles.
Yeah, and I really don't know what to expect, and I love that when I do reviews.
You're so giddy.
Yeah, I am giddy. I'm ready to drive this. We're going to take some back roads first. We're not going to go on the highway. We're going to go very low traffic. But I love this area. I always do my car reviews around here. But anyways, so that, one thing I did want to mention, there's LED lighting all the way around. We have the LED daytime running lights in the front. We have the 3 little LED halos, dots.
Five clearance lamps that are regulated by the U.S. government for any vehicle over 80 inches. So
that's mandatory. That looks great. The taillights in the back are all LEDs. It has that signature shape. And then the turn signals are LEDs. We're going to go over that more in the exterior portion of the video. All right, so going over the rear here, we can see, we're going to show you the bed in a second and how the tailgate operates, but I do want to mention quickly the exterior, the LED tail lamps here that go all the way around. We also have the brake light right here, and also you can see the blind spot radar system is actually built in to the tail light unit. We also have towing. Lights. Yep, LED reverse. Everything's LED in this car. I mean, you even have little side marker lights right there. And then you can see the rear end's just very big, like we said, over 86 inches. We have the tow hooks here for obviously towing capabilities. And then we have these nice round 3-inch black, matte black exhaust tips. They look very aggressive, and I just love the look. You're going to see in the exhaust clip. But they're round and they're very large, and they kind of remind me of a GTR a little bit. Now Alex is actually going to open the tailgate quickly from the key. Now let's show him the key quickly. It's very similar to the other Ford vehicles.
This is new.
It does have the Raptor on the back though.
802A only package. You get the Raptor key fob.
That's actually, because I have the same thing as this, except obviously mine has Ford right there, but the Raptor just makes it that much special. Obviously, it's a special vehicle.
So I'm gonna open the tailgate with the key. Click it twice, opens right
and
up.
then it's a nice, easy release. And we're gonna actually go in the bed now. Alex, how much room is this right here? We're just
the bed is a 5.5 foot bed.
5.5 foot bed, and it has this nice composite material right here.
It has a
that's
Ford bed liner. So there's a little sticker on there that it's a Ford tough bed.
Tough bed, yeah, and it definitely feels very, I mean, very resilient. Like you could really throw some stuff back here.
So certain trucks come with different bed packages. So you can have a bed extender that screws into these holes here, or what my truck came with is ramps, so like an ATV or something.
Okay.
So that's what this little thing is for here.
Yeah, and this is, and what's the other way you can, we're actually going to put it up right now. I just want to show them the other way.
Step.
Oh yeah, let's do that quickly. There actually is a step feature because, guys, it really is kind of hard to, Alex, you can see Alex is 6'6", but it's kind of hard to get up there. And then you have this little feature right here where you can actually step onto it. You have a railing, and you can actually right here just move right up and get right into the bed. You can see I'm stepping on it right here, and here's a nice handle, and it just gives you that nice capability, and it really just shows you how shows you how loaded this truck is.
Putting it away is as simple as 1
Let's
and
see
2.
it.
So they're labeled 1 and 2.
2.
And then it just goes right in here like that.
Yeah, and then you know what? We're gonna go around to the front quickly. I just want to show them the front. We have the nice LED signature F-150 LED running lights there that are white and yellow depending on what mode you're in. You have the LED headlights right there, and integrated turn signals right here. And then it's a nice unit. You also have this very unique grille on the F-150 Raptor, where you have the LEDs, and we already mentioned that in the video, that because of regulations, the LEDs integrated into the grille. You also have a camera right there for, you know, seeing the front and the back. You have the big Ford block letters.
Useful when off-roading.
Yep, very. I mean, just looking on the inside, it's unbelievable, especially you know, when off-roading, you can see all around. Since it is such a large vehicle, you can see the headlight, and then, you know, these nice fender flares right there for good clearance. You can also see the skid pad underneath, and then just, you know,
there's also all the other underbody protection as well, underneath the gas tank and transfer case.
Yep, this is an off-roading vehicle, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just the sheer girth and width of this vehicle in the front end I really like. And then also we have one thing that's cool is you have all the vents around here. We're actually going to start getting going on the drive here, but you have all these vents, which is for cooling the big V6 under the hood, and that's just cool to see in a truck, because the hoods, it really, you know, the vents really make it.
They're all functional.
They're all functional. I hate non-functional vents. I did a review on the Kia Stinger GT a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, if you're going to put the effort into making hood vents and all these aero features, you might as well make them real. Like, why go through the effort and design a fake vent? I mean, so they're all functional. I love functional vents. It's for cooling, it's for aerodynamics. So, everybody's starting off here in the 2018 Raptor. I do want to get used to it before I do anything crazy, which I'm not going to, but it's weird to see when you first start. I'm gonna go back here. All right, now we're where I want to be. It's weird to see immediately off the line we have 10 gears, and the transmission, it's just weird to go and see how many gears you have.
A friend of mine has a Jeep. It's a 3.6 liter Pentastar.
Yep.
And that's a 5-speed automatic. And if you're cruising in 10th gear and you decide to step on it, you drop 6 gears. You go from 10th to 4th.
At that, yep.
Like that. There's very little lag in this truck, which is it's crazy because it's such a big vehicle.
And the brakes, wow, the brakes are very good.
Yeah.
But you can definitely feel the weight through the brakes. It definitely takes you a little bit more to step on it and really get this to a stop. But just off the bat, we're on a little bit of a bumpy road right now, and it's taking now, I think we are in normal, right?
Yes,
Alex?
we're in the normal.
We're in normal. And this, so like I mentioned in the interior part of the video, it has 6 drive modes. We're just gonna try maybe normal and sport today, and that's about it. But yeah, I can't go through all of them. It'll be a 50-minute video. So we're gonna go right here and just, you know, you definitely, you know, I feel like we're gonna get the looks for this vehicle. I mean, I've been in a lot of sports cars.
Check this person. New Jersey drivers, let me tell you. But yeah, when I drive, I daily drive this. So this is I drive this to work. It's my grocery getter. It's a very big grocery getter. But you see people in GMCs, Chevys, and other F-150s that stare at this truck.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
It's very rare to see Raptor. It has at sea level, it has a 5.2 0 to 60 time.
Wow, that's unbelievable. So, especially for such a big car.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going 50 right now, and you don't even really feel it. I mean, it's very not numb, but you don't.
Removed from the road.
Yeah, it definitely is removed from the road a little bit, and immediate reactions. It drives great. I mean, just because it's an off-road vehicle too, so sometimes they don't mix well on the road. You know what I mean?
This is like one of the best. 410 gears are not meant for highway driving.
Yeah.
But the suspension in this truck is it's always changing. And you just get it's very cushiony ride.
All right, here we go, guys. We're gonna give it a little gas. We'll get her up to speed, and I'm gonna.
Don't hold in that smile. Don't hold in.
Wow! No, I do it at the end. Jeez, I saw the little boost gauge going up there. I love that. I drove an Alfa Romeo Giulia, and you could see the boost gauge is going like this, and I see the same thing here in the Raptor. I'm gonna make it right here, I mean, this thing is just unbelievable how wide this thing is. You really feel like you can eat up anything on the road. Really, I mean, like I'm not. To be honest with you, I'm more of a sports car guy. I like the low, small feeling, the nimble handling. But right off the bat, the handling, Ford really did a good job with kind of not hiding, but keeping it under control. You know what I mean? Because I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee a couple months ago, and the body roll was terrible. You know what I mean? You turn it, you got the whole, it's a big lag. But the steering is honestly, just in comfort mode, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just so high, this truck. Oh my God. Just so high. You can look over everything. I'm used to in my
Fusion. There's an Infiniti Q5 next to us. Yeah. You can see in their cup holders.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like honestly a skyscraper. But so anyways, we have, like I said before, the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, and just in that acceleration, you get the exhaust note in here. Now sometimes the manufacturers they pump in the sound.
This is a pumped in sound, yeah.
Which I'm gonna be honest, it's cheating, but it still sounds good. Like
it definitely sounds good.
And I want to thank Alex again for letting me do this. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I'm doing these reviews, and I do a lot of sports cars, but to change this up, it's really
open your eyes to
it's opened my eyes, yeah, and it's changed my mind a little bit. I just want to put this up a little bit. There we go. Alex is going to get in this car later after we're done with the review, and everything's going to be changed. And
it'll be okay. It's worth it.
But also, if you haven't already, Alex, you have the subscribers. Tell them your social media, just in case they want to go follow your truck. Truck page.
The truck has its own Instagram page. You can follow, my little story, my little build, whatever. It's actually, I'm surprised when I did my Instagram. I was thinking of creative usernames that I could think, and I just put in 2018 Ford Raptor, and it was available.
Oh my God!
So go follow.
That's funny because like you would think that'd be taken.
I know. But so yeah, go follow me on Instagram at 2018 Ford Raptor. You can see all the pictures there. I post regular.
Give him a follow. Give him a follow. Also, Alex, check out. He might be doing some things to the to the truck.
Plans coming.
Yeah. So actually, that brings me to my next question. I know we talked about it before. What plans do you have for the engine? Exterior, any mod you want to do? What do you have planned in the future?
So I have a few things planned now. I want to keep this truck under warranty as much as possible. So Ford Performance catback exhaust is in the running,
and that keeps your warranty.
That keeps my warranty because it is a Ford part. I also want to do Rigid Industries cube lights on the A pillars. That's another thing. And then a Roush cold air intake would be my next thing. That's gonna
give you a lot of horsepower. People are really underestimate. Now, obviously, you have to get a tune because you'll have a check engine light if you don't. But I mean, that's just basic stuff.
Yeah.
But people underestimate the power of an intake. Cold air intake is when you have colder air and you have more air going into the engine. There's a million things you could do with this engine too.
Yeah.
But the air intake's really going to boost you in horsepower. One thing, guys, you're going to see the exhaust clip. Let me know down in the comments what you think. I like it. I think I like, and I'm guessing Alex, you do too. A little bit louder exhaust.
Yeah.
I mean, I love loud exhaust. In this car, you could. I mean, if you look at the Ford GT, it's the same engine. It's just retuned. The exhaust noise is unbelievable. That has a titanium exhaust, but just a simple axle back. You're doing axle back, right? Or you said cat back. Cat back exhaust. It's just going to sound great. And it's even stock. You have little pops and crackles.
When you really, when you get into the 4,000 to 5,000 RPM, you get it,
And the red line of this truck, I mean, it is a V6, so normal around 7,000. It's around 6,200, and it really does sound good when you get up in the rev range. It's just unbelievable. We're just passing this truck here, and people really move out of the way. They're just like, I don't know what's behind me, but I'm moving out of the way.
I had a GMC Yukon before this, and people would move out of the way because it looked like a New Jersey State Police car. People move out of the way for this because it's gonna eat them.
Yeah,
because you're gonna run them over.
It's menacing, guys, especially with the LED lighting and just the big Ford block letters on the hood, on the grill. It's just the whole front, especially these tires. Now, do you know that I do not know the tire setup on this?
So the tire is it's a BF Goodrich KO2. BF Goodrich manufactured these tires specifically for the Raptor.
Okay.
Now the old Raptor had the KO1s or the KOs, which those are okay, but the KO2s are really, they give you an a fantastic on-road feel.
Yeah.
As well as being able to, go off-road. They're really meant for the sand. They're not as much meant for mud. They don't have, big teeth in them. But the sand is really what this truck is made for, along with the tires.
And you guys will see, especially in the shots of the tires, I was afraid with the tread wear, because it's very aggressive, the tread wear. It's very large. I was afraid the road feel was going to be a little bit harsh. Not harsh, but you could feel it. You don't feel it at all. The suspension, especially in our drive mode normal, is soft enough. Now you have about, in the front, I think 14 inches of travel for the dampers. I mean, obviously this is just normal road driving. We're not even testing the limits of this car, but just the suspension is very soft and it's elegant when you're in normal mode. You can daily drive this car. Alex does, and he's perfectly happy with it. And we're going 73, guys, and it does not feel like anything.
No,
when I go 73 in like my Fusion, which is a completely different car, but I'm not even gonna compare. I'm just saying as a comparison feeling. When I'm going 70, 80, I feel like I'm going, but like in this car, you just feel like you're just like it's an average speed. Like you're going almost 80 miles an hour.
I was going up to Maine for a vacation. I looked down at the speedometer. I'm going 90.
That's unbelievable. I mean, we're gonna step on it a little bit right now. We're going 80 right now, and that was just a little bit. That was about half throttle.
There's an F-250 next to us, and we're even. And that's a bigger truck than this is.
And that might have the diesel. That might. Well, I guess it could have the diesel with a V8. But guys, overall, we're going past Jeep Grand. There was a Jeep Grand Cherokee back there, which I thought I sat high in that. I thought it was a bigger truck. I've never been in a truck this big. This is new experience for me. But I mean, it dwarfs. Like, if you guys know the size of a Jeep Grand Cherokee, it dwarfs the size, and it really is. The ride quality is great. I really am impressed. And these cooled seats, just unbelievable. I love
drive for hours.
The best invention ever. I feel like.
Now here's the thing. This does share almost everything with the Ford F-150 Platinum.
Okay.
Except the massaging seats. There's the one thing that this truck does not have that the F-150 Platinum does have.
Now I'm surprised it doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
This car has everything, guys. Everything you could even think of.
Adaptive cruise control.
I drove a Lincoln Continental, which is a luxury car, a couple of weeks ago, it's a grandpa car, but it was still very luxurious. The seats were a little bit more. They had massaging seats. They had more functions in this, but feature-wise, now that is just luxury.
This is ability.
This is ability. You can do anything in this car. Now, obviously, you have to, get used to the driving. Also, it is a little bit of a pain to fill up. Alex, what's the tank size on this?
The tank size on the Super Cab, which this is not. This is the Super Crew. The Super Cab has a 26-gallon gas tank, and the Super Crew, which is this configuration, has a 36-gallon gas tank. And being a Ford performance vehicle, they recommend putting high-octane fuel, so
91 or 93.
93.
Yeah. And now you could probably get away with 91.
Could, but there's not very many places that have 91. They're normally 87, 89, 93.
93, yeah.
But yeah, this is a beast to fill up. So good thing I have 2 jobs.
Yeah, that supports the gas.
Yeah, support the cause.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
80 bucks. No, I normally fill up right when it reaches.
How much does it cost you to fill up?
Right when it reaches like a quarter of a tank left. That's why I normally fill it up. It costs me 80 bucks every time.
And that's on 93, guys.
That's on 93.
I mean,
yeah. Cash too.
And that's
not 93 credit. That's 93 cash. That's not even including the extra 10 cents for credit.
Jeez. Just taking this corner right here. I mean, this is. It's really menacing down the road, guys. I mean, obviously you have your sports cars like your Corvette, your Camaro. Those look menacing, but there's something about a big truck,
with 35-inch tires.
35-inch tires, blacked out. So moving to the steering wheel here in the Raptor, very nice. It's a large wheel. We have our 12 o'clock little notch here, so you always know where the wheel is faced. We have some perforated leather here on the side, which feels really nice. It gives you a nice grip. And then we have some smoother leather here on the top. Now we have our little pin pad for the digital gauge cluster in the center. We're going to go over later. And then we also have our music options. We have our voice commands, the volume settings, and then if you want to go back or forward with music. We have our adaptive cruise control settings here on the left. And then on the right, we have our to mute the music. We have answering and hanging up on phone calls. And then we also have these 2 buttons, which are actually very cool. We have our drive mode selector here on the right side. So we're gonna press that and we're gonna go over to the center. All right, guys, so going over the drive mode selector here in the Raptor, we have 6 drive modes. We have normal, sport, weather, mud, sand, and also Baja mode, and then rock and crawl. Now all these, we're actually gonna go over this later in the video. There's a lot of different ways it actually changes the drivetrain of the car. All right, so going over to the gauge cluster here in the Raptor, we have our tachometer on the left, which the car redlines at around 6,200 RPM, and then we have our speedometer on the right. Now, there's a lot to go through on the digital gauge cluster in the center, but we're gonna start off with the top row. You have your oil temperature, your engine temperature, and then your fuel level. Now, you can see on the top there, it says 529 miles to empty, which is actually a huge range. We're going to talk about that more in the driving portion of the video. Also, one thing cool to see on the truck is the turbo gauges all the way on the right. That's going to give you your boost pressure and PSI. It's really cool to see in a truck since this is a twin turbo engine. Now we're going to start off in the My View. Now this is what basically the owner of the vehicle, you can set up what you want to see just instantly instead of going through menus and stuff. So we're going to go through that first. Right now we can see our digital speedometer, what speed we're going to. And then the off-road status, you can see the tilt of the vehicle, you know, and that's really good for, you know, when you're taking this off-roading, you know, you can see clearance, and if you can actually, you know, you're just seeing general information when you're off-roading is great, especially, you know, when you're in an unknown environment. So Alex is actually the owner. He's going to go over the off-road status since he lives with the vehicle. He knows it a lot better than me. So Alex, you want to go over the off-road status quickly for us?
Yeah, so on the left-hand side of the off-road status, you see the pitch of the vehicle. So that'll show you mainly your approach and departure angles, which are fantastic on this truck. In the center, you'll see the power distribution along with the tire angle. So if you're really into off-road, you need to be on an exact angle on rocks, that's perfect. And then on the right-hand side of the off-road status, you see the tilt of the vehicle. So as wide as this vehicle is, this truck can flip. So you want to make sure you are not, you know, overextending the tilt of the vehicle.
Yeah, and those are great options. I mean, we're going to actually go past that now, and then we're going to go on to tire pressure. You can see basically the PSI of each tire. And you can also see the fuel economy. Alex is averaging 16 miles a gallon, which isn't bad. And then we can also see our transmission temperature, and then, you know, if you want to configure more screens. But this is totally customizable, the My View, and it just shows you a million options that you can, you know, that you can go over while you're driving. Now, also, you have your general trip information, trip 1. You can see the time, your the miles to empty on your fuel tank, and then also the range, and then the average miles per gallon you're getting. We have 2 rear cup holders for either the driver to passenger or the rear passengers, so they can use that. And then also, like Alex was saying, it's kind of like a dinner table right here. It's just so big. Just to show you in comparison, I'm just going to place a water bottle here, and you can see just how big the center console is here. It's nice, you know. And then we're going to go into the center here, and why can I not open it? All right, there we go. So going into the center, you can see a lot of room in there. It's kind of like a closet. I mean, it's like you could fit anything you want. You also have little pen holders here, or pencil holders that Ford's included. I don't think anybody will ever use that.
I use them all the time.
Alex uses it. But it's just a huge space. I mean, you can fit anything from bags to Tums to...
to a rain poncho.
To a rain poncho. It's just great. And we're gonna put that down. It really is like a dinner table. You can rest your arm, and you still have plenty of room. I mean, it's excellent storage space right here, and really fits the truck. Now, going over to the center console, we have 2 cup holders. We have a little room here, I'm guessing for key or other knickknacks, like cell phone. And then this car does have the carbon fiber package. Now, that gives you carbon fiber on the shift knob here. The little cover to the little bit more storage space is all in carbon fiber. We also have it on the dashboard right there, and then on the sides, which I'm going to show you right near the door handles, which actually is a good point. I'm going to bring basically, to get out of the truck, there's no normal door handle to get out. There's kind of this little lever right here, right by the carbon fiber, where you're going to press that, and that's how you get out of the Raptor. But it's unique, and it really fits with the overall design. So going back, we have the carbon fiber there on the shift knob, and then a little bit throughout the center console. But going throughout, we have that space. We have the nice large shift knob, which is, you know, you have your gear selectors, park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then you can also put it in a manual mode, the 10-speed automatic we're going to be talking about a little later. You can also shift gears on the side here, and then there are column mounted, actually steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, where you can change the gears if you do put it in a manual mode.
Full magnesium.
Full magnesium. Which is actually, it feels great, and I'm guessing I'm gonna just click it quickly. It does feel very good. We might test them out later if Alex allows us to. But basically, also, what is that, Alex?
So this is your lane keep assist.
Okay.
Now, this truck can't drive itself, but if you do weave out of a lane, you will feel a steering wheel vibration, and the truck can
steer itself back.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that surprised me too, is the safety features. I'm going to actually skip to the dash here, and the truck has the performance features, but also has the safety features. It has the lane keep assist, the auto stop start for the engine, like a lot of cars these days have. Basically, when you come to a stoplight, the engine will shut off for fuel efficiency purposes, and it also has the lane keep assist, which is excellent, and also the blind spot monitoring, which I'm going to show you later, which is actually built into the taillight, and it covers the back hand of the truck and then also the trailer, which that's pretty impressive. And then, so that's that. Very nice large center stack here, and then also one thing I did forget to mention is it's a nice look, and if you want that extra storage, you just move this carbon fiber piece back, and you have your Apple CarPlay options right there with the 2 USB ports, and then a lot more storage space, about 4 inches deep, but excellent storage there. We're going to bring that back. And then going over to the center stack here, we have our climate control options. Now, this car is equipped with heated and cooled seats, which is unbelievable. It's a very hot day here in New Jersey, so we have our cooled seats on. And then we just have our regular climate control options there, which is like on basically every otother F-150. It looks a little bit nicer though with the black dials. And
now,
then
one big improvement to the last, the 2010, 2014 Raptor is that the old Raptor didn't have any of this. You had to go into the original sync, which was a nightmare, and control everything through sync.
Yeah.
But this new Sync 3 system is fantastic.
It really is, and I've had Ford for a couple years now, a couple Fusions, and they've really improved it a lot. We're gonna go over that in a minute. And then also we have a 12 volt here on the side, a 12 volt power outlet and a cigarette lighter, which is unbelievable. I didn't even know it had a regular outlet, but I would have brought my charger. But it looks great, and it gives you a ton of functionality. You really could go camping in this car. I know that sounds weird, but you really can just survive in this truck if you need to. Also, one feature Alex did want to mention, and one thing I really think is cool, is that if the battery dies, now this is a key fob, push button start truck. So to regularly start the engine, you're just gonna, put your foot on the brake and press the engine start. But if that dies, there is an option to manually start it by plugging in the key and twisting it.
It's not even that. You just put the
plug it in.
Put the whole.
Alex is going to show us right now. We're actually going to turn off the car, and then so the car is off.
Yep.
And now Alex is going to show us. We just put the key in,
just like that.
Just like that, and then do we just regularly start it?
You put the foot on the brake and start the truck.
And then we're going to just regularly start it. There we go. Built tough. It's kind of a cool, you see on the commercials where the built tough thing goes down, and it's cool to see it on the dash there. So there's that. That's a very cool, a lot of people probably don't know about that who own this car. And that's a very cool feature. So we're actually going to go now. We have our media options for volume tuning. It's very similar to other Fords with the dials. And then Sync 3 is very similar. We have our very clean display. This is kind of the home screen. We have our navigation, our radio, and then our Bluetooth phone options. Down here you can see that we have just our regular apps, navigation, phone, if you want to make phone calls, read text messages. You can also access Siri through this. Our climate control settings, and then it's kind of interesting where you have your heated steering wheel, which this car is equipped with, but the only way to access your heated and cooled seats is through the actual knob. Some cars do have it on the display.
And the only way to get the heated steering wheel is through the
display. So that's cool, and that's and then also we have our audio. We're actually going to test out Bang & Olufsen premium audio, and this car is basically fully loaded. It has a million features. We're not going to cover them all today, but so we're gonna test that out quickly. Alex, pick a station, and we're gonna let the viewers listen to the speaker system. Wow, so that really has a lot of bass, and it sounds honestly excellent. I mean, unbelievable, this truck. It really is. I mean, it is a very expensive truck, so you would expect all these things to be in it, but it's just amazing the blend between performance and off-roading. I mean, you have the off-roading capabilities, and then you have, carbon fiber and paddle shifters and the transmission we're going to talk about later. But also, we have on the top here our hazard lights, which we're going to press that, and then, you'll see that in the exterior shots. We have our engine stop-start, our camera. Now, this is equipped with backup cameras. Now, is this the front or this is the front camera, right?
Front view right here.
Front view right there. Now, that's going to be probably under the Ford logo. I think right above it, there's the camera.
Yep.
And one thing that's very cool that you see on actually like extreme luxury cars, 360 above view camera that we can see here on the Raptor. And one thing that's cool to mention is it's actually a Raptor truck right there. You can see the hood vents and the bed, but that's very cool, especially when you're navigating in close spaces. Before, we were trying to get a shot, and we were kind of using it to back up. And then also we see our front view camera. If you are going into a tight space, you don't want to hit the curb or hit anything else.
You can also get full front view, along with something that's also really cool. If you're coming out of you can do this in the reverse too. It'll show you to the sides.
Oh, wow.
Because
there's side view cameras, right?
This is actually just from the front camera.
Oh,
the front camera points out.
Yeah.
So you can see, if you're coming out of cars or whatever, if like another car is coming.
And that's unbelievable. You can even see the little menu here on the left that actually shows you what you're seeing, and that's unbelievable. You also, so we're going to press that again. That's going to bring us back to our home screen, and we can see on the top left, we're going to see traction control, and then it looks like
hill descent control.
And I really give the interior, the steering wheel, the digital dashboard, and the gauge cluster, a 10 out of 10. Everything's unbelievable. The carbon fiber, the stitched leather you have here, and then also one thing you're going to see when we drive it is the panoramic sunroof, which there are solar panels above us, but that goes all the way back to the rear seats. Now, Alex, isn't there a way we can electronically move that back window?
Right here.
He's gonna press that. I'm gonna put my camera on the back window, And you can see right there how the back window, now press it again, Alex. And that's unbelievable because you can just manually do it on every other car. But this car, there's no manual. It's all switches. And also going to the top here, we have a lot of features. But one thing I did want to mention is the auxiliary units where you can do light bars. And a lot of people are going to customize this truck. And
I will do that eventually. But these two, so these two are rated for 15 amps. These two are rated for 10 amps. And these two are rated for 5 amps.
Wow. I mean, just to feed, and you have 6 there. It's not like you just have 1 or 2.
The old Raptor had 4.
That's unbelievable, and really just the space and the features. And also do want to mention here, we have a little cubby right up there. Overall, I mean, the overall design is great, and I give the interior really a 10 out of 10. It's unbelievable. I love the center console. It's a comfortable car. I mean, the bolstering is nice and good.
It's no new Mercedes with the bolsters moved.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, but for what this is, for what it's meant for, it's unbelievable. So I'm gonna go through my rating system quickly. This is gonna be down in the description below. Throttle response is for a truck. You know, it's not excellent. It's not like something that's performance-based, but you can't even compare this. But to other trucks in this class, I'm going to give actually a 9 out of 10. The throttle response is actually excellent. When you step on it, you really get what you want out of that V6. And then the brake, tire, and the wheel setup is great for off-roading and on-road capability, so that's going to get an 8 out of 10.
Do come with a beadlock capable wheel, which is what's on this truck. Now, on the inside of a tire,
look bad now.
On the inside of a tire, there's beads. That's what keeps the tire on the rim. If you go off-roading, especially if you wanted to take these down, down to the beach, you would have to lower the pressure down to 20 or 15 psi. If you take a turn too hard, you can pop a bead, and then your tire comes off the rim.
Oh, I got it.
So
never heard that term before. I kind of know what it is.
Ford Performance sells, bead locks for this wheel. You unscrew the things, and then you screw the ring on, and you're now bead locked. It will not. You can take these tires all the way down, take a sharp turn, and it'll stay on the rim.
Wow, you learn something every day, guys. I know a lot about cars, but actually, you know what? I know a lot about performance cars. Off-roading and trucks. Alex is really the expert, not me. But new experience for me, and I really enjoyed it. And so overall, the beadlock and other Ford Performance things, I mean, you also have the suspension, the dampers that have 14-inch travel in the front, 13 in the back, which is unbelievable. I mean, you just have plenty there if you want to go off-roading.
3-inch diameter Fox shocks.
And then one thing I did want to mention, I didn't mention when we were going over the review before, the outside, is that you have a skid plate, but also on the new Colorado, they have, in front of the wheels, there's no fender. On the ZR2.
The new Jeep JL. On the Rubicon, you could take the front fenders off.
Yeah, which is actually great for clearance. I mean, and especially this too. You do have a little bit of a fender, but it's not much, so you really can get up and if you want to go. Acceleration, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. No, 7 out of 10 because it definitely gets you going, but you kind of don't feel like you're going that fast since it's so big. It isolates you from the road.
You haven't gotten it up there yet.
Okay, I really haven't done much. I don't want to. This is not my car, so I don't want to.
This truck, once you reach, this sounds crazy, like 7th gear. It just starts flying.
It's a rocket. Exterior styling, I really love it. I love the hood vent. I love the aerodynamics, the vents, getting people rubbernecking. Because this area, everybody drives, Mercedes, BMW, SUVs, and they think they're hot shit. And you really, you can't even, they don't even know what this car is capable of. Exterior, I love it with the vents. The lighting is especially, I love the lighting on the F-150, especially the Raptor with the LEDs in the grille. I mean, especially at night. I wish I could get shots of this at night. It looks unbelievable. The panoramic sunroof, I mean, you see these in luxury cars and sports cars, but to see it in this car, it really makes the cabin feel open. It's already big enough, and then you have this, it's just like, and especially me, I'm 6'2", guys, and I have about a half a foot, 4 or 5 inches of headroom, and I mean, that's unbelievable. And I'm not a small person, so imagine if you're like 5'6". I mean, and then Alex is 6'6", and he fits, and he still has a lot of room. I mean, he's a big guy, and he still has a lot of room. Interior, unbelievable. I love the steering wheel, the perforated leather, and all the tech features. We already went over that. I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. Exterior, I didn't actually rate it 9 out of 10. And then we're going to go over on the drive next, handling and suspension. And we're just going to have more of a discussion about the vehicle. Alex, I'm going to ask you, can I put it in the manual mode?
I was going to say that.
Because I do want to test the paddle shifters. Now, when you do, obviously you can put it here in the gear selector.
Let's do this. Let's put it into sport mode first.
Sport mode, okay. So we'll put it back in the drive.
And then go into your sport mode.
All right, so we'll do that.
Yes, there you go.
Now this is funny, guys, because Ford really has integrated this drivetrain, the drive mode selector into all of its cars.
I'll take it out of this turn. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do anything until I. Oh, that was nothing. That was nothing, guys, and it was still puts a smile on your face.
And it holds those gears longer.
Yeah.
What are you in now? Fifth?
We are in fourth.
Fourth, and you're.
He makes a G-Wagon look small, and those are pretty decent size. But the interior is so comfortable, guys. I'm very comfortable. We got the cooled seats on. As a daily driver, it's perfect. But if there's one thing you had to change about this vehicle, I know everything's really here, it's fully loaded, but if there's one thing you had to change, Alex, what would it be? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but that's what I do in my videos, guys. I put all the guys on this. I put the drivers on.
One thing to change. I don't really know.
Well, something that you would, if you were optioning out this car, you would have liked to. I mean, I know. Well, it's kind of a bad question because this is kind of a fully loaded.
This is the fully loaded. This is the 802A package. You know, with carbon fiber and all that.
Honestly, guys, what I would do, I'm going to be honest with you. I probably, and I don't want to be this way because it's kind of nitpicking, but I would put a little bit more carbon fiber in it. I'm going to be honest with you. My immediate reaction was, the shift knob, yes.
It's a $1,200 option where you get a few pieces of carbon fiber.
No, it looks great on the door, and it looks.
I think something here, on the center control stack or the dash. Yeah.
I think a little bit too in the steering wheel. They should have integrated right here instead of these plastics.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna give it. Wow, you can really hear that they pump it in.
That's the sport mode that you're in now.
Wow, you can really, you guys, it shifts at around 5,000 RPM.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unbelievable. And it's taking these bumps, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And nice 10 and 3, nice 10 and 3 notches. And the perforated leather really gives you a good grip. But I can't imagine seeing this thing go fast, like on the outside. It must look like a giant. It's just unbelievable. It really is. And the visibility is great. I did not mention that yet. Visibility is great.
There's no Toyota FJ.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and one thing, guys, I hate too is, I haven't been in a lot of pickup trucks, so I can't really compare them to a lot. But, it's not hard to get into this car, this truck. I mean, you have the nice steps right there, the running boards. Yeah. You have the nice running boards, and it's nice, and you see the nice on the door sill Ford performance.
I thought about the one thing I would change.
Okay. So going back to our original question.
Yes, the original question. I will stall no longer. So, Ford F-150s and pickup trucks in general are meant to tow.
Yes.
So they have the suspension in the front and rear is different. The front is normally lower, the back is normally higher. So when it has a load, it sits even.
Yep.
I would put a leveling, like have Ford put a leveling kit so it's all even. Because when you walk up at certain levels, it looks kind of funny because the front is a lot lower than the rear is.
Yeah, I don't like that look either.
There's a Ram 2500 here, and it's sitting level with,
That does look, but I don't really notice it, Alex. I mean, maybe now since you told me, but
when we get out of the truck, you'll notice it, and you walk up to it from from the hood. That is one thing I would change is make everything level. Yeah.
Now I wonder what other colors you can get this in. I really love the black, guys. This is blacked out.
So they have shadow black. They have ruby red, which is like a dark red wine maroon. New for 2018, they have like a racing red, which is like that Ferrari red. Yeah. They have two grays. They have metallic and lead foot. As much as I've argued with my grandfather, since my grandfather's getting one as well.
Oh, a Raptor.
Yeah.
Wow.
He got the metallic, which he thinks is the darker one. I think the lead foot's darker.
I haven't seen them, so I really can't say. But I really like the black. I'm gonna be honest. If I had to pick one, I'd pick black.
Black, absolutely.
But here you can see when you step on it, you can see the turbo gauge go up, and the shifting is much more aggressive in sport mode. And the throttle response is much more sensitive. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of not hard to keep your lane here. But is the lane keep assist on?
No, it is not.
Okay, let's try that. I just want to see that quickly. So it's kind of hard because you feel like you just masked in the front here.
Deviate. Go into the lane over here.
Yeah,
let it go. Did not do it?
Nope.
Maybe the camera didn't pick it up.
Yeah, it's all right. We got to get over. But what, is it supposed to say something on here?
No, it's just supposed to. It's supposed to
wiggle me back. Yeah.
And then if you put a blinker on, it'll turn off.
Okay. Well, that's smart. I mean, that's why it forces you to use your blinker, yeah. Let's try it right now. Let's see it again. Yeah, see that?
Yeah.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really just, the wheel went like this, guys. It started turning me back to the left, so we're going to turn that off now. I just wanted to test it for a minute. You ride with that off, Alex?
I normally ride with that off, yeah. But adaptive cruise control I do ride with often if I'm ever on the highway.
I'm going to be honest, I never use cruise control on my car now. I never do. I don't know why. I don't know.
Well, you don't have adaptive cruise control is a whole different story.
Yeah, that's
so if someone, and it has, there's a camera in the rearview mirror that, you know, detects brake lights.
Yeah. So and it's really the radar system, guys, with the adaptive cruise control on cars these days. It will adjust your speed, you know, based on the traffic in front of you, and it's really a great feature. Where that's why I don't really use. I don't have adaptive cruise control in my car. I don't really use it much because I was like, I'd rather just manually do it, unless I'm like going on a road trip where I'm going out to college or something, like it's an hour drive and there's no traffic. But
I don't use it around town.
So we're in sport mode. I do want to test out the paddle shifters to see that response. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna click. I always like to upshift. So now we're in manual mode. It gives you on the side screen there a little bit of, it says M something, whatever gear you're in. We're gonna downshift a little bit. We're in 6 now, and we're gonna see how the paddle shifters do. I'm gonna do a little acceleration here, Alex. I do want to experience. I'm gonna downshift again. We're in 5th. This is not a great place to do it, but the paddle shifters feel great, and they're large, guys. Now I do like column mounted because
you always know where they are.
You always know where they are. When you have them attached to the stand, this is not just with this car, it's with all cars, you have to search for them, especially when you're turning, if you need to change gears. Anyways, paddle shift response, guys, is really good. I mean, it's not too delayed. It gives you, you know, now we're in 8th, but it gives you a lot of gears to work with. You know what I mean? Obviously, the last couple are for fuel efficiency purposes, the 7 or above.
8 has a 1-to-1 gear ratio, and then 9 and 10 have it's overdrive.
Yes. And that's what most cars are doing these days, especially you see the LC500 from Lexus, the ZL1, even the Hellcat from Dodge. They're doing that for basically fuel efficient purposes, overdrive, where, you know, you have that option. You know what I mean? You could throw this car into 9th, even 10th gear, and just get probably 20 miles a gallon.
Yeah. You know, from down the shore, going to Pennsylvania, which is the direction that we're heading right now. You know, going up and down the mountains, you get closer to 16, 17.
Yep.
But yeah, going down to the beach, you can get 20, 21.
And it really is, because it's great, and you still have the power in 10th gear. You still, I mean, I'm not going to throw.
If you're an automatic, you have power immediately. As soon as you step your foot on the brake,
downgrades you.
Downshift you. 6 gears, like that.
Love when people just ride in the left lane. It's amazing.
Jersey.
Yep. PA's worse though. I'm not going to make fun of PA people, but. So in the end, you guys follow Alex. What's your Instagram again?
2018 Ford Raptor.
2018 Ford Raptor. Give him a follow. You know.
Let me know if you're coming from the review too. So let me know in one of the pictures if you're coming over from High Boost Car Reviews.
Yeah, and I do need to turn around here, which is going to be interesting. Maybe I'll just do it up here. But yeah, I mean, also subscribe to High Boost Car Reviews if you guys enjoyed the review. I know this was probably going to be a long review just because there's so much to go over. With the truck, and I appreciate Alex again for letting me do it. He's a good friend, and it's a great truck. I really liked it. But yeah, so follow him, subscribe to High Boost Car Reviews, guys, and you know, there's gonna be a lot more reviews coming soon. Hopefully, maybe a Ferrari.
We'll see if my uncle likes it.
Yeah, but anyways, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. We have Alex here. We are doing the rest of the review. He has work at 4, so we're gonna try to bang this review out. It's been.
That's up there even a little bit more. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
And since it's a charging, you can record. You have forever.
Oh, I have 3 hours. So.
Yeah. Blooper reel.
Guys, if you have any questions for Alex, let him know on Instagram or on the YouTube comment section below. But one question I have for him is how he affords the gas. That's, I mean, I know he has the 2 jobs, but
I have 2 jobs. Yeah.
I can't imagine filling up my Fusion. It's just $50 to fill up like a 10 to 15 gallon tank. It's
what's positive about I have two jobs. One job is a coach at the YMCA. The other job I work at Destination XL, which makes a lot of sense because I'm 6'6" and I'm big. But I make commission on that job, so I don't only make hourly pay. I make money from other people's money. So
that's always good.
So the more
commission.
So the more they buy, the more I make.
And then going down, we're gonna
approach and departure angles is the big thing.
Okay. Yeah. No, it does not.
It's not recording?
No. See, the battery goes off. No, it's recording, but the battery isn't. So since, you know, the Raptor's a very new vehicle for me, but there's a lot to go over. So Alex, the owner, he's going to explain. There he is. All right.
So you can either go over the curb if you feel like it, or
you know, I'm not going to do that to you, Alex. With my luck, I'm going to, you know, some tie rods.
You're neutral.
Some tie rods or something's gonna...
Now what this truck does have, as we're backing up out of the spot, you notice that you can't really see down the street, right?
Oh, shit.
But...
well, there's people coming.
But normally, it has a, you know, cross traffic warning. So...
yeah.
Normally.
1080p.
You see something in there?
Yeah. The black rocket. It's a black rocket.
It's a big black rocket.
Alright, we can't put that in the video, but
bloopers.
Everybody's gonna think we're racist, but alright, I'm not a racist guy. I'm the least racist person you've ever met. No, I'm just...
no, it's just a penis joke.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big black bulging rock. Alright, anyways,